Number 10, Carl. Carl the Cupcake is Chica's own animatronic pal. Carl is of course a cupcake who typically sits on Chica's platter, but also has been known to roam around on his own from time to time. Carl has even gotten his own jump scare animation in a few games. In FNAF 4 and Help Wanted, you'll want to watch out for this crafty cupcake, as those are the games where they can also jump scare you. Carl's official name in the franchise is actually Mr. Cupcake, but the fandom have decided to grant Mr. Cupcake a first name, which is where Carl comes from. Carl Cupcake, Mr. Cupcake. So most of us like to refer to Mr. Cupcake as Carl instead. Number 9, JJ. I mean, I mostly just think JJ is weird because we never really talk about her, and while Balloon Boy, aka BB, is always popping up in conversation and in games, JJ seems to be more sidelined. She is the female counterpart to BB. Initially, she was referred to as Balloon Girl until her name JJ was finally revealed. In FNAF 2, where BB messes with your controls via your lights, JJ entering the office will mess with your door controls more specifically. So both are equally a nuisance to deal with if they manage to sneak in through the vents. JJ also has an identical laugh to BB, which I find pretty creepy, not gonna lie. And friends, before we move on to this next spot, if you are enjoying this list and you want more FNAF lists, be sure to let us know by giving this video a thumbs up. Number 8, RWQFSFAXC, also referred to as Shadow Bonnie for short. Shadow Bonnie. Shadow Bonnie isn't the kind of animatronic that can jump scare you, but more acts as a mechanic in Ultimate Custom Night. Some say that Shadow Bonnie wants you to say their real name for some kind of insidious purpose, to awake demons maybe. He is the shadow version of Toy Bonnie, who first appeared in FNAF 2 as a hallucination. Not specifically an animatronic, I suppose, but definitely something that seems to have been born of an animatronic in some way. In Ultimate Custom Night, Shadow Bonnie serves as an antagonistic mechanic who brings with him 10 seconds of complete darkness to the office in which you reside, making it impossible for you to see the doors during that time. Number 7, Candy Cadet. Candy Cadet is one of the animatronics who appears in Pizzeria Simulator. This animatronic is a game that can be purchased and placed in your own pizzeria. Candy Cadet gives out candy and also tells stories. All of its stories involve 5 of something, usually being combined together, and all of its stories are also pretty dark and generally end in death. Basically, this is not really the kind of game that you would want to encounter at a kid's pizza party place, which is what makes it so disturbing and strange. Though definitely not too strange for the world of FNAF. In these spooky games, it still manages to fit right in, of course. But in a real-world context, I feel like most adults would not want Candy Cadet telling stories and dispensing candy at their kid's pizza party. Number 6, Mini Rena. The Mini Renas are a group of smaller animatronics who usually accompany and assist Ballora, sometimes seemingly working against her as well. They are a mischievous bunch of animatronics who enjoy crawling in and around their victims. Ugh. The strange thing about Mini Renas is not just their disturbing desire to climb inside of other people and animatronics, but also their design. While Ballora appears as a beautiful humanoid-looking ballet dancer, the Mini Renas look like creepy, half-finished marionettes. Every story or game they show up in makes them seem even more terrifying than the last. Number 5, The Curse. The Curse is part of the current event in the Special Delivery AR, the Ancient Equinox event, which began on March 5th, 2021. At least I think it's still going on. Not sure if it is. The Curse is basically Springtrap, but reimagined as an ancient Aztec warrior. Oh, Special Delivery, what weird and magical skins you give us. This is the first animatronic skin from Special Delivery to not have the original name of the animatronic referred to in its title. Instead of being Cursed Springtrap, he is just the Curse. The Curse is dressed up in bejeweled golden armor and a green leaf skirt, and also carries around a cracked shield held by an arm that is made entirely of feathers. I cannot deny, although this one feels kind of like weird to me, I love this design. I think it looks so cool. Strange, but awesome. Number 4, Dee Dee. Dee Dee originally appeared in FNAF World and was one of the first animatronics from that game to show up in the main continuity of FNAF games in Ultimate Custom Night. She resembles Balloon Boy in her appearance and has a sweet and youthful sing-song voice. When you add her to Custom Night, she will summon a random animatronic to join your game at a difficulty somewhere between 1 and 10. Dee Dee has that same deceptively overly cheerful look that some other animatronics have, which is a big part of what makes her so weird and so creepy. When people look like too happy, like it's like plastered on, that's creepy to me. I don't like that. Number 3. Heartsick Baby. The hits just keep on coming from Special Delivery AR. Heartsick Baby was made to be a Valentine's Day variant of the animatronic. This skin for Baby, though, is less sweet and romantic, more disturbing and creepy. I'm not sure what would honestly be weirder, a truly adorable Valentine's version of this animatronic, or the creepy one that we got. Both seem pretty weird in my mind, to be honest. Heartsick Baby was given a dark pink, gray, and black color motif as opposed to her usual one, and had hearts added on her kneecaps, chest, and her cheeks. But don't let those hearts fool you. She also appeared as an alternate to Cupid, but slightly tarnished in appearance, and with wings whose feathers even seem frayed or cracked near their tips. She also comes armed with a bow and arrow, and instead of pins, has a couple of arrows sticking out of her shins. So I guess Heartsick Baby doesn't have great aim. All around, this is a pretty disturbing alternate version of Circus Baby. Happy Valentine's, I guess? Heartsick Baby was added as a special animatronic holiday skin on February 4th, 2021. Valentine's Day animatronics. Number 2, Liberty Chica. One of the strangest ones of all when it comes to Special Delivery AR skins, in my opinion, is Liberty Chica. Not only is this strange just to look at, but it's also kind of horrifying. Without the animatronic getting angry or pursuing me, I still find it scary. Just to look at it is really weird and also really disturbing in my personal opinion. Liberty Chica was one of the skins that appeared as part of the July 4th celebration in Special Delivery. This design was evidently based on the U.S. National Monument, the Statue of Liberty, which is located in NYC, and was given to the U.S. actually as a gift from France to celebrate their liberty, freedom, and independence from the British. Fun fact, America initially didn't even want that statue, and then when they did accept it, didn't want to pay to create the base needed for it to rest on. This is a true story. Liberty Chica also comes with their own version of Mr. Cupcake, reskinned as the stoic-looking Torch Cupcake. Number 1, Egg Baby. I mean, I think we all agree that Egg Baby is one of the weirdest animatronics out there, no? Even Scott seems to have acknowledged how weird this creation is, trolling us with its potential appearance in UCN, which of course didn't actually end up happening. Egg Baby is just a strange prop animatronic that you can acquire in Pizzeria Simulator for a whopping $6,000. Why is it so expensive? What does Egg Baby actually do or add to your pizzeria? I think just a whole lot of awesome weirdness personally, which honestly, it having a $6,000 price tag just, I don't know, it just makes it somehow better. It makes it more weird, but also more great that it's so expensive. I need that Egg Baby. I need that Egg Baby in my restaurant.
Number 10, Glitch Trap. Glitch Trap is more an enigma just because we don't really know what their main goal is yet. But then again, when have we ever known William Afton's main goal? You know what I mean? Or when have we understood the motivations behind said goal anyways? I assume the Glitch Trap as a sort of reincarnated version of Afton is aiming to get out of the games and probably, I don't know, kill more innocent victims? But how? What is the plan? And more specifically, why? 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 Those are questions we just don't know the answer to yet, and for the why, well, we might never know. Number 9, Blackheart Bonnie. Blackheart Bonnie just kind of reminds me of a Furby or that like Hasbro Poochie toy that was out around the same time. I don't know if anyone remembers these things or if I'm dating myself, but yeah, those were a thing. I had both of those toys growing up, and let me tell you, they are pretty creepy in retrospect, at least. At the time, I have to admit, I personally loved them, but just in retrospect, looking back, I don't know how I wasn't creeped out by those toys. Blackheart Bonnie is from the Valentine's Day event in Special Delivery from last year, and other than that very large beating heart in his chest slash kinda in his stomach area, like I feel like that heart's a little low, he doesn't quite scream Valentine's and, you know, love to me. I mean, I guess the point is it's supposed to be scary Valentine stuff, but just looks, it's just weird. Just reminds me of Poochie. And friends, before we move on to the next spot, just a quick reminder to like, comment, subscribe. Every time you do one of those things, a little secret of FNAF is revealed and comes out into the world. Also, don't forget to check out our FNAF playlist for even more awesome FNAF content. Number 8, Lefty. Lefty is one of the animatronics in the game that I question the design for, or at least question what happened to its eye. Lefty's name is actually an acronym for Lure, Encapsulate, Fuse, Transport, and Extract, which helps us to understand its function, but does not answer the question of why it only has one eyeball. We can assume it lost the eye, but it also kind of weirdly looks like it may have been designed with it. And then of course there's the question of why Lefty was really designed at all, and how Lefty even came into contact with the puppet who's within Lefty. How did that all happen? And why isn't his name also Freddy, just based on his own design as an animatronic, as a fellow bear? I feel like he has kind of a Freddy look, no? Of course his name is an acronym and he's also left-handed, but wouldn't making his name Lefty based on an acronym for his purpose, which is, you know, to take on the puppet but also potentially to kidnap people, be a dangerous thing to do if you wanted to avoid getting caught for those things? I don't know, just a thought. Number 7, Egg Baby. Egg Baby, Egg Baby, Egg Baby. What are you? Why do you exist? Conjunction junction, what's your function? Hooking up eggs and scanning blueprints? I don't know. Egg Baby first made their appearance in Pizzeria Simulator when we learned they were classified as a rare find. A rare find indeed. So rare in fact that they cost a whopping $6,000. That is a lot of money for whatever Egg Baby is. What's more, the purpose for this animatronic still remains quite unclear, at least to me. What is its function? Why is it so expensive? Why is it so creepy? Does the Egg Baby within the Egg Baby come out, and can it exist separately? Does it have its own name, or do we also just refer to it as Egg Baby? Little Egg Baby? Just all Egg Baby? I don't know. Just looking at this animatronic gives you in general way more questions than answers. Number 6, the Nightmare Animatronics. These animatronics make me ponder even more deeply what's really going on in this whole story. So if Freddy Fazbear's is meant to be a place where kids and families can all be entertained and have fun together, right? Then what is up with these animatronics? Are they even real, or are they just some fantasy, something out of a kid's imagination? Were they created to test the child we play as in the game, or are they meant to represent this kid's fears? If these animatronics are real at all, which I think at this point we mostly assume that they're real, I personally think they are real, then how did anyone ever think this would be a good way to entertain children? These animatronics are terrifying. How were these animatronics or their blueprints never found during the creation process and halted by some execs who definitely did not think that this aligned with the brand? I just feel like if the Nightmare animatronics are real, I need to have some questions answered about why and how they were ever made. Number 5, Liberty Chica. I know I fixate on Liberty Chica a lot, but it's mostly because of that expression that she is giving us when you look at the artwork for her. What does that look? She's giving us a strangely arrogant and kind of smarmy expression. I mean, I know it's based off of the Statue of Liberty's probably actual expression, but for some reason on Chica it looks weird. Also, just look at the Statue of Liberty's face next to Chica's face when she is Liberty Chica. Just look at those things next to each other. Is that the same expression? What's happening? The Statue of Liberty, by comparison, just looks ambivalent, aloof. Chica's got this weird, sneaky kind of, I don't know, maybe it's flirty kind of look? It's hard to explain. I wish I could explain it better. I'm not doing it justice. Just look at it. Just look at it. It's like Liberty Chica is giving you a hey expression. I'll try to do it. I don't even know if I can do this expression. It's so crazy. It's just kind of like that. I don't know, but her eyes are half closed. And I'm not sure why this expression even exists or why she's making it. I just know that it and she is an animatronic just creep me out. The end. Number 4, Circus Baby. Why was Circus Baby made? That's the big question that makes her so confusing to me. Circus Baby, in regards to what she is and how she functions, makes sense. Even her as an entertainer and possibly kidnapping or killing device, in terms of how she works anyways, makes sense. The question is, why was she made for Elizabeth? And was Circus Baby created with the intention of harming her? That seems odd considering that Elizabeth was William Afton's own daughter. So what was the true purpose of her? Did Circus Baby simply malfunction for some reason? It definitely seems like she was programmed to cause harm, and yet it's claimed by Elizabeth that William made the animatronic just for her. So then did William make the animatronic to harm Elizabeth? Then again, he also told her to stay away from the animatronic. The lore here when it comes to Circus Baby basically feels very contradictory and very confusing. Number 3, Frostbite Balloon Boy. This one no longer even really resembles Balloon Boy and is really just going for a much more evil take on this character. Frostbite Balloon Boy appeared in special delivery as part of their 2020 winter collection. His face looks different, his body shape has completely changed, and he looks like he just walked out of a frosty nightmare. This is one of those animatronic skins where I earnestly wonder how Fazbear Entertainment could even be claiming to be all about entertaining children. Just how or in what world does this version of Balloon Boy seem fun at all, entertaining, or even seemingly child-friendly? It makes more sense when we have animatronics that at least, they look like they could be a fun animatronic to have delivered to your home for a special event, but then they just happen to malfunction and attack you and then they get all creepy. As opposed to this animatronic where we have one that just looks like it was made to attack you. Like, there's no way this animatronic looks family friendly or fun. Number 2, Ennard. How exactly did Ennard come to be? Does Circus Baby also know a bunch about robotics? Do animatronics know how to construct other animatronics out of themselves because they are animatronics? And how did Ennard truly wear Eggs Benedict, aka Michael Afton, as a suit and then leave him by breaking down and being vomited up, and yet still somehow survive all that? It's weird, it's really weird that Michael Afton survived. But how did Ennard also split up and survive? How did all the parts that made up Ennard find a way to return to versions of their former selves? Did they all do that? I know Circus Baby is later seen as Scrap Baby, but how did she go back to being Baby after being integrated with Ennard? I'm so confused about how this all works in terms of the actual parts coming together, and who has the knowledge, and how can these animatronics just integrate themselves into a collective entity all wired together and then just leave that, just disengage and then become themselves again. Also, does Ennard have a personality of their own? Should we be concerned about that? Are they an animatronic who's potentially possessed by the others, or are they just a blank slate without the sister location animatronic collective within them? So many questions. Number 1, Paper Pals. Why do paper plate animatronics even exist? And more importantly, how do they exist? And are they even animatronics, or are they just paper plates? Paper plates that can move around. I think they are just paper plates, to be honest, but they also, like I said, seem to be able to move of their own free will and when they're seen in FNAF world. Who doesn't like making pals with paper plates, I suppose was the reasoning behind creating these animatronics or animatronic inspired paper plate folks. Do people still make pals out of paper plates? Let me know in the comments if that's a thing that you recall doing. I definitely did that at some point, but I haven't done it in a while, so I'm not even sure what to refer to this group really as. That's how confusing they are. The Paper Pals, I guess, if we're referring to them as anything, are 3 paper plate creations who are each inspired by an animatronic. One is inspired by Balloon Boy, another is a stand-in for Freddy, and the creepiest one, in my opinion, is meant to represent Bonnie. A very creepy version of paper plate Bonnie.
Number 10. Lolbit. I think the question becomes, why does Lolbit really exist? I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Lolbit, but they are kind of just a strange twist or variation on Foxy. Lolbit first appeared as an animatronic in sister location and is a recolored and female version of Foxy. Foxy with no hook hand and with lipstick. For us to understand why Lolbit was created, we would need to look at a clear and precise timeline to get an idea. Clear and precise timeline. Okay, so without that, we can theorize based on what we know that Lolbit probably came after the original Freddy, as Circus Baby's Pizza World was kind of a rebrand for the franchise, but also maybe was open while it was open. It's confusing. If Lolbit was a part of that crew and not made after Pizza World, just as a part of entertainment and rental, that is of course if Lolbit was made at the same time as all the Circus Baby's animatronics and not just as a part of entertainment and rental. So Lolbit was potentially made to be a less scary version of Foxy, no hook hand, no pirate theme, just a cute but still terrifying fox. But really the weirdest thing here is we don't really know if that is true, because we don't really know 100% confirmed much of anything when it comes to timing or lore in the FNAF franchise. So just why Lolbit? Number 9. Lefty. Lefty is weird because it isn't really an animatronic of its own, but merely a storage device for the puppet. Lefty's name is also a sort of acronym in terms of what they were designed for, so don't be fooled by their rock star appearance. Lefty's name is actually an acronym that goes LEFTE, but of course they are called and often referred to as Lefty instead because they hold their microphone in their left hand, implying that they themselves are a left-handed animatronic. Lefty stands for Lure, Encapsulate, Fuse, Transport, and Extract, revealing the meaning behind the name for this animatronic, and its purpose is actually much more sinister than you'd think just by looking at them. Lefty is also missing their left eye, but otherwise appears to be in pretty great shape, which is also kinda odd. Number 8, Ennard. I mean, just Ennard's existence is kind of weird, isn't it? Ennard is a combination of the main Circus Baby's entertainment and rental animatronics all combined together, but who for some reason like to appear as a horrifying clown. I guess that is the Circus Baby coming out? Is she the one who picked that outfit? I don't know. Add in the fact that eventually Ennard ends up wearing the protagonist as a human skin suit so that it can escape, or even stranger, that it somehow escapes without that suit and yet tracks the protagonist down anyways, who we know as Eggs Benedict, but of course assume is Michael Afton. And yeah, Ennard is a pretty strange animatronic, both when it comes to story and appearance. Number 7, Jack-o'-lantern. Just like Carl, aka Mr. Cupcake, who came before him on part 1 of this list, Jack-o'-lantern is another animatronic pal of Chica's, or more specifically a pal of Jacko-Chica's, the Halloween-themed version of Chica, who herself looks like a horrifying and bright jack-o'-lantern. Jack-o'-lantern is also believed to appear in the FNAF 3 Halloween update, as the appearance for them is very similar to the lantern that appears on our desk in that update. Jack-o'-lantern replaces Chica's cupcake for this version of the character and looks identical to your run-of-the-mill Halloween pumpkin jack-o'-lantern. Nothing too crazy to see here, which strangely makes the companion even weirder, because it just looks so normal. Number 6. Clown Springtrap. The Dark Circus event in Special Delivery brought us all kinds of strange but thematic animatronics. One of those happened to be a reimagining of Springtrap that I never expected to see. Clown Springtrap. This version of Springtrap wasn't clowning around too much though, so don't worry if you thought a jolly clown seemed out of the murderous Springtrap's wheelhouse when it comes to looks. It is called the Dark Circus event after all, and so this version of the animatronic was more of a scary clown. Clown Springtrap wields a terrifying hammer, all the better to smash you with, and is done up in white paint and clown makeup. This clown is not what you think of when you normally think of a fun circus clown. Clown Springtrap also seemed to have a bunch of chipped and jagged teeth. Kinda reminds me of the very disturbing Twisty from American Horror Story. Let's go to the circus, I guess? Number 5, Amalgamation. Talk about weird and twisted versions of the animatronics blended together, a theme that seems to pop up in every corner of the FNAF franchise. For this animatronic, we need to turn to the novel trilogy for FNAF. Not to be confused with the Fazbear Frights books, which are a separate book series and kind of more of an anthology than a connected and continuous narrative like the trilogy is. In the third and final book in that trilogy, we meet that amalgamation, which is helping to keep William Afton alive and is a melted down, welded together mass of all of the original animatronics combined. Freddy, Golden Freddy, Chica, Foxy, and of course, Bonnie. Even more horrifying and bizarre, the amalgamation is not described as being remotely recognizable as these animatronics. Instead, its form appears as a lump of burnt and hot metal with clumps of wires and like metal tubing sticking out, visible here and there. Number 4, Melted Chocolate Bonnie. As though it wasn't odd enough that we got Chocolate Bonnie last year for Easter in Special Delivery, the FNAF AR game, this year we got an even stranger Easter version of everyone's favorite bunny animatronic, Melted Chocolate Bunny. I love this version because to me it implies that real chocolate was used in the creation of the version we saw last year. Either that or Fazbear's thought a melted version would be fun. So fun. I'm not sure which potential explanation I like better here for this gloriously strange and disturbing exclusive holiday animatronic skin. I hope all you Special Delivery fans had fun with this horror show over the Easter holidays. Let me know in the comments if you happen to run into a Melted Chocolate Bonnie animatronic. Is it weird that I also now want chocolate after talking about this? I know it looks really scary, that animatronic, but I'm just like, I could go for a chocolate bunny, or a chocolate bonnie. Number 3, paper pals. I mean, yeah, these are just paper plate creatures come to life, I guess. They aren't even really animatronics so much as just sentient paper plate, well, pals. Initially, the paper pals appeared in FNAF World. Each one is thought to represent a main antagonist from FNAF 2. Each one is thought to represent an antagonist from the franchise. There is a paper plate version of Freddy, a paper plate version of Bonnie, and what people believe to be a paper plate version of Balloon Boy, although that one's a little hard to tell, to be honest. And I mean, Balloon Boy is already a weird animatronic on their own because they're not even an animatronic themselves, but more of like a ceramic statue, I think, that comes to life. So yeah, a paper plate version of them that can move around on its own is pretty out there as far as concepts go for animatronics in the FNAF universe. Even though I know that FNAF World, I don't think we actually consider that to be canon, but I just want to talk about some cool paper plates. So please don't blame me. I like the paper pals. They're weird and lovely. They're just so low key. That's what I like. Just a paper plate with some little limbs. Number 2, Music Man. You'd think Music Man wouldn't mind loud sounds. After all, he is a music man who admittedly looks less like a man and more like some creepy humanoid spider combo thing, but who also carries around cymbals. You know what makes a lot of noise? Cymbals. But maybe it's just that only he is allowed to make the noise or music, according to his rules. And he is not a fan of competition when it comes to making noise or making sounds. Either way, in Pizzeria Simulator, Music Man becomes active throughout the night if you make too much noise doing your tasks in the office. So if you want to avoid running into this horrifying weirdo, be sure to keep the noise down. Although, always just a good idea to do that in Pizzeria Simulator, because any noise, you're gonna have some enemies approaching you. Number 1, Fruit Punch Clown. On part 1 of this list, we talked about another vendor bot animatronic available to you in FNAF 6 Pizzeria Simulator. Now it's time to continue on and talk about another strange vendor bot animatronic. Following the theme of how clowns can be weird and creepy, we have Fruit Punch Clown. Fruit Punch Clown is a fruit punch container and dispenser. Not only does this clown look extremely creepy with its over-exaggerated, gleeful expression, but every now and then it also says some pretty creepy stuff too. In his own minigame, the goal is to startle as many children as possible with his fruit punch alarm, which is already pretty strange, but there is also a small chance that after surprising the children, he might utter a sinister phrase. Tell anyone about this, and I'll cut your throat. Oh my. That is not a friendly phrase.
In at 10, Chica. Stop. Don't even think about it. This isn't a weird Rule 34 thing. This is legitimately because Chica is a chicken, and chicken is delicious. Sorry, PETA. Even if she isn't a real chicken, the character is still meant to be a chicken, so by proxy, chicken would taste normal, right? At least in the dimension where the character originates from. If we subscribe to the many worlds theory, much how like you should subscribe to the channel, what a segue, but there is a universe out there where the animatronics that we know from the FNAF franchise are real-life organic beings set on the destruction of humans. And there's another where we all live peacefully. There is also a universe where William Afton is real and I'm the one fighting him. No matter what, Chica is a chicken, and no matter what you say or want to interpret it with your fan art, there is nothing that can change the fact that she is literally a chicken. Her name is Chica the chicken. It's chicken, chicken is good. For the most part. And at 9, Ballora. Okay, there is no real safe way to say this, so I might as well go all in. Cannibalism is a real thing that people partake in. It's not a thing made up for video games, movies, or TV. People do it. We know that. There are famous serial killers that have famously eaten bits of human flesh. And if Ballora was real, cannibals would enjoy a nice home-cooked meal. On the other hand, and this applies to all of the animatronics, people eat metal. There is one man, known as Mr. Eats-All, who literally would eat anything. Somehow he was able to eat nuts, bolts, screws, light bulbs, an entire plane. Not joking, okay? This dude was a powerhouse. He literally brings his own things to restaurants so that they could add it to his plate. He ate a plane, he would eat bikes, he will finish his wine and then eat the glass no problem. He would have a field day when it comes to Ballora. This guy had eaten 18 bikes, 15 shopping carts, 7 TVs, 6 chandeliers, 2 beds and a pair of skis, a coffin, steel chain, and a partridge in a pear tree. But he can't eat bananas because it will give him heartburn. Literally. Unfortunately, Michel Lotito died at the age of 57 of natural causes. Yeah, this guy ate metal and glass for 41 years and died of natural causes. This list is dedicated to you, my man. And it ain't Bonnie. Bonnie is a rabbit, because Bonnies and rabbits are the same thing, so don't flip your crap in the comments. Anyway, rabbits, while not being as common as chicken, they're still regularly eaten as dinner, on a less regular basis no doubt, but honestly I've had days where my girlfriend has brought home rabbit that she cooked in class. The taste is nearly the same to me, but I don't have that advanced of a palate, but it's literally meat, okay? Food is food, no matter what. Rabbit, while slightly gamier, is also as common as chicken. It's honestly weird that 50% of the original animatronics were actually regularly eaten, almost as if Scott intended for us to make this list. I mean, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't eat a purple rabbit, but I mean, if it was necessary and I was going to starve to death, I would honestly not think twice. Especially if we're in that universe where the animatronics are real organic beings instead of animatronics. I'm speaking about if these animatronics were real and not just the way they are with the robot parts and everything. Except for number 6. I said number, whatever. And at 7, Dreadbear. This idea actually comes from the VR YouTuber Eddie VR. Amanda and I have mentioned him before, and honestly I love his videos. However, he makes all the FNAF stands mad by giving nicknames to the animatronics, like how I make them mad when I tell them that Springtrap isn't an animatronic because he's not. He calls multiple characters by food equivalents. For example, Mangle is mangoes, Chica is Kentucky, Springtrap is tortillas, and Plushtrap is Tortilla's son. He also calls Dreadbear elotes, which is Spanish for corn, because honestly, have you seen Dreadbear's teeth? They look like they're straight up a fresh cob of corn. Like, he went through the Foxy maze and just started picking up corn and shoving it down his metal interior until eventually he became a corn. It's weird, and honestly, knowing that it's his teeth kinda makes it less appetizing, but that's why he's at number 7, right? Like, I can't explain why he's higher than Bonnie, because Bonnie would actually be food. Don't come for me, PETA. But I can't explain why he's higher than Chica, you know? Because I had to get you to stay somehow. If you see number 10 and it's not something that will kind of make you open your jaw with either excitement, surprise, or lust, then you weren't gonna stick around for something as ridiculous as this list. I had to put Chica first, but I don't know why he's higher than Bonnie. And at 6, Drink Clowns. Lemonade Clown and Fruit Punch Clown make their appearance in Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator, also known as FNAF 6. The clowns are basically giant bulbs of their respective drink, and they disperse these drinks with like any drink machine would, but this time it's coming from their body instead of some tank that nobody can see. It's slightly terrifying when you think about it, but it also makes some of the most sense on this list. The others may be iffy, but this one is pretty damn solid. Well, I guess technically it's a liquid, so I shouldn't be joking about that. It's a very important matter. Haha! Look at me go with my terrible jokes and horrifying sense of humor. Oh, you weren't laughing? Why the hell not? We're talking about clowns, aren't we? Clowns are funny and not scary in the slightest. I mean, I see a clown every time I go back to my hometown. And no, I don't mean because most people in that town are jokes. Oh boy, that got aggressive. I wonder what could have done that to me. This lemonade is great, by the way. Thanks, Lemonade Clown. Halfway through at number 5, Gumball Swivel Hand. Gumball Swivel Hands is one of the FNAF 6 animatronics obtained at Stan's Budget Tech for $125 of in-game currency, obviously. Could you imagine if it was real money? Like this game was just gonna be one giant cash grab like any mobile game or EA game? Well, Gumball is literally what he sounds like, a gumball machine with a face and rotating hands, which gives it its name. He has a propeller hat and kinda looks like he just drank a gallon of paint. His chest is a gumball dispenser and his head is a bowl full of gumballs colored red, green, blue, purple, yellow, and orange. And from the looks, pink, but it's not listed on the wiki, so that could just be the light reflecting off the animatronic. I'm not entirely sure. I saw pink. I could just be going crazy. Other than the dispenser and the head and arms, Gumball doesn't really have much of a body, only being supported by a pole like any other gumball dispenser. Talk about having a pole up your ass, am I right? And at 4, Shamrock Freddy. Being Irish, I do have a special place in my heart for Shamrock Freddy. He'll never come after me, Lucky Charms. Shamrock Freddy is a skin for the Freddy animatronic that appears in FNAF AR Special Delivery and was added on March 12, 2020 in time for the St. Patty's Day of the worst year ever. His appearance is fairly similar to that of regular Freddy, except being colored entirely green, as you can see here. Oh wait, that's awkward. Forgot I was on a green screen. Well, I guess you'll just have to imagine it. Unless the editor decided to put a picture of it to make me look ridiculous while saying this. The only difference about him and normal Freddy is the color, basically. But why would he be tasty, you say, with the confused look on your face? Well, Shamrock Shake. Duh. I've never actually had a Shamrock Shake because up until like this year I always forgot about it, but hey, everyone who has had it tells me it's delicious and hopefully they're not joking, otherwise I'm going to look even more ridiculous in this number. And at 3, the Cupcake. Do I really need to say anything here? The cupcake is its own animatronic, which I am correcting from a long time ago in a list about scariest animatronics or something like that, I don't know. We do plenty of FNAF videos because the FNAF videos do better than anything else on the channel. Like, we know we milk it, but they keep doing well, so we're gonna keep making more. But if you can't get enough of FNAF and love the series as much as us, click up in the top right corner because we have a playlist of almost 90 videos now. It's nuts. Over 13 hours of FNAF content for you to enjoy. But the cupcake animatronic is literally the only pure food item from any of the main FNAF games. It's literally a cupcake. Yes, it would technically in a way be sentient since it hops around the room in FNAF VR while repairing Chica, but you know what? The sentience makes it better. Make it more personal. I want to hear the cupcake scream as I devour its interior and delicious and sticky icing. Damn, this is really good lemonade. Yo, Lemonade Clown, what's up? And at 2, Chocolate Bonnie. Chocolate Bonnie is kinda like an issue for me if I'm being honest. I'll lick the icing off a cupcake and hear it scream as I close my jaw around its face, but I would get a chocolate bunny every year for Easter and whenever I could get one for myself. Specifically, the Mr. Munchie that had the Rice Krispie-like things in it. Not sponsored, but I wish it was. And those rice-filled chocolate bunnies were some of the best memories I have. I love how some of my best memories I have from childhood are about eating chocolate bunnies. Says a lot, eh? Well, no matter, this kind of presents a crossroads. The chocolate bunny is an Easter skin for Bonnie from FNAF AR, but it's like, why does this thing need to be a thing? It's clearly chocolate because we don't see any of the robotic parts inside when looking in the hole on its side, but is it just chocolate? Could I pull a Scooby-Doo and eat my way out of this thing if it catches me and shoves it into its stomach? Does it have a stomach, or like the animatronic equivalent of one? I don't know anymore. It would still be tasty. Is it milk or dark chocolate? Finally, in at number 1, Toy Chica. Hey, mommy! Do I really need to say anything more? Rule 34, baby!